Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Grand Rising. How's everybody doing? Well, the defense, everybody done arrest their cases in this Ted DiBiase Jr. case here in the city of Jackson. And today, I don't know. So it's they down to the wire. What's going to happen with this? What is the fate of this guy? Me personally, once again, I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't think nothing gonna happen to him, cause fraud is real hard to prove. Fraud is real hard to prove, cause then you got to prove intent. How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? So it all remains to be seen. We're gonna find out something today. It's supposed to be going back to court today, and the judge, what's his name? Judge Wingate. That man's fate is in Judge Wingate's hand. I don't think that man is he's gonna serve a day in prison. Because of the charges. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I do know fraud is hard to prove. Fraud is hard to prove. They already got a whole slew of folks that's involved in this that haven't even went to jail. He ain't going to jail. His brother didn't go to jail. Did his brother go to jail? Man, please. Went out to some rehab center out there in California. That's to keep from going to jail. He probably get a restitution. He probably have to pay restitution. That's probably what he gonna do. Man, please. I'm not trying to hear it. I don't see it happening. But hey, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But the way those charges is, the way they charging him, it's, with this alleged wire fraud, alleged wire fraud. Man, you're not gonna prove that. You're not gonna prove that. So it's all up in the air. I report, you decide. You just decide for yourself. Because it's all down to the wire now. I have been looking at this thing, and the more and more I look at it, the more and more it appears that there's some type of it's something more to this than it's something more to this than just just this case. Because I'm like, Mississippi hadn't had that much attention in a while. This case hadn't been that much attention in this case since that case with the Medgar Evers case with Bobby DeLauder and Dickie Scruggs. All that's not Dickie Scruggs, excuse me. With Bobby DeLauder in the Medgar Evers case with back in the 90s, in the late 90s. And it's like, what was his name? Edgar Ray Killings or something? I can't remember his name. I get all those guys mixed up. But the guy that assassinated Medgar Evers. It's like I said, Jackson, Mississippi hadn't got this much attention. And you know it's going to bring a lot of press. It's going to bring a lot of, people in the downtown area. They moving around. Businesses is, they getting traction. A lot of businesses is getting traction. They're getting more sales and things of that nature. It's a whole trickle effect. This case causes all of that. You know, the vending machines is constantly being tended to. I'm telling you, this is nothing but commerce shit. It sounds like, you know, it sounds like I'm rambling, but no, I'm not. Wouldn't the downtown have been as active as it is now with this Ted DiBiase case? It brings a lot of business. It brings a lot of business. A high profile case like this, sure, why not? I can't see why it wouldn't. But nevertheless, so I wonder what's next. I wonder what's next. Is it gonna be this former mayor Shockwave Antar Lumumba? What's next? What's gonna be next? I wonder what's next. Because it's crazy. It's crazy out here. It's crazy. You know. The the media don't come to Jackson. I noticed to Jackson, like the not the mainstream media, not like the local news. I'm talking about like the national news. They don't come to Jackson until it's something that's high profile. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, because look at what happened with Deion Sanders. When Deion Sanders came here and he was coaching Jackson State. He was coaching Jackson State when Deion Sanders came. Man, CNN and all them folks, SPN, all them folks stayed here. They stayed up in here. And let me show you. You could tell it's high profile crap. Because when Jackson State started winning after Deion Sanders left, winning all these SWAC championships and all these, man, didn't nobody come through here. It wasn't publicized as it was when Deion Sanders was here. Think about it. Things was not publicized big as it was when Deion Sanders was here. But then like I said, when Jackson State started winning, you heard crickets. And I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. It's like saying we're not going to come to your state because your city, because your city ain't big enough. We're not going to come to your city until you got somebody that we all know. If the city is moving forward and doing what it's supposed to do, because there's somebody that doesn't have a big public notoriety, you're not gonna come. The national media is not gonna come. Mainstream media is hardly ever gonna cover it either. They're gonna say something about it, but then it's gonna go away. I just wonder if Shockwave Antar Lumumba had been Martin Luther King's son, how big this would have gotten. I wonder if Chukwuemeka Lumumba was um, Richard Wright's son or grandson, how this thing would have, played out. Something with a high profile. Something with a high profile, or Denzel Washington's son. I wonder if he was Denzel Washington's son, what this thing, how this thing would have played out, as far as notoriety is concerned, and all the publicity, the lack of publicity that he had got. Because believe me, Angelique Lee got more publicity than he did. What it look like to me. I know I'm tripping, but I'm just saying. And what it see you like, that's what it see you like. She got more publicity than he did. So it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. We just I don't know. I don't know. Today's Friday. I don't know. I'm just kind of, waiting. Time pass. I just thought I'd get on here for a minute for Friday and just kind of make something happen. But nevertheless, once again, we'll see what happens with this Ted DiBiase Jr. case. The best, if he gets off, the best of luck to him. I hope he has learned. You can't take advantage of things. And even if he do get off or he don't get off, he needs to be learning a lesson. He needs to be learning a valuable lesson. Is that you cannot get away with something and expect no one to know about it, because eventually it's going to come out. Thanks for watching.